What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to FBA Capital. And today I'm bringing you guys another daily range case study on none other than NAS100. In the middle, yeah, I got a little different setup. You guys, I got two ultra wide monitors, got a little change, but hopefully everything sounds good. I got a different way my mic is positioned and everything, so let's just see what's up. We about to get right on into these charts, and we're gonna overall just go over what happened today for the most part. So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna start off by marking up the previous day's high. Boom. It's going to be up here. Then we're going to get the previous day's low, which is going to be right here. As you can see, today was a bearish day, and we did target the previous day's low, meaning today was just an overall bearish day. Nothing crazy about it. For the most part, it did trend. Was there news today? I don't think there was news. No, there was at 8:30, and it was, for the most part, negative, as you can see. So there you go. We had negative news at 8:30. We're gonna get a little bit in tuned after we get this 12 a.m. open, and then after we mark up this Asian session range. Boom. All right, perfect. Now we can get rid of this. Now I want you guys to pay attention to a few areas in price. First things first, I want you to pay attention to this high, this low. And that's really it, honestly. For the most part, today looks like it's going to be a simple day when it comes to this daily range, just for the simple fact that not much price action happened. There is going to be a few things in here that I want you guys to pay attention to. First things first, we're going to start off with this high. So up here, we do have the high of the day. The high of the day was created right when the market opened. So when the market opened, that high price that I had was the last time. So right here at 12 o'clock is when we have the high of the day. Didn't really make a crazy like wick to the top side above the 12 a.m. open like I like to see with the London session, but in this case it was just an overall trending day, so there's not really much you can do. Second thing, what I want to do is I'm going to pull a fib from this high, which is the previous day's high. You could use this wick, but personally, if you just use the body, this would be the previous day's high. If you pull a fib to this low all the way down here, you're going to see that there wasn't even a fib retracement in here, not even a 38.20% right here. It came close, but it didn't tap into it. But you do know what price did tap into. If you get closer into this time frame and look to the left, you can see, if you go to say the hour chart, you see that we tapped into this fair value gap we have in there. So here, I'm gonna come a little bit lower in the price. I think the 15-minute one is good. So right in here, we have this fair value gap from that high, well, low, to this low, and right in between here. This is where price was reacting off of. And as you can see, price held this fair value gap. After we filled in the gap, at what time? 8:30. The news. You see. So we filled in that fair value gap at 8:30. And also, we had a small retracement. If you look to the left, if you come to say the hour time frame, you can try to see if there was any confirmations in here, such as this one right here. Look at this. What do you see right here? Last two down candles for this push higher, or even if you look right here, this last move before this high right here, that is going to be a breaker block. Why? Because at one point this was an order block, right? This was an order block at one point. That price rejected and pushed to the top side, and guess what? When it came back down, it broke through it, retested it, and that's when we had this push to the downside. At what time? 8:30. Now let's annotate this. At 8:30, we had the fib, not fib. 8:30, we had the news, plus we had fair value gap filled, along with 30-minute breaker block rejection, just like that. And also, look where we are price-wise. Didn't really tap into it, but for the most part, guys, you got to keep in mind that not everything is always going to be perfect. We came close to this 11,400 level. We didn't quite tap into it, but for the most part, if you say go to a different broker, I'll show for you right now. So as you can see, price didn't tap 11,400, but if you come to a different liquidity feed, because every liquidity feed is different, as you can see, if you go like this one is from what is it, Oanda. If I go to say my other ones, like this one, which is from Black Bull, we look for 11,400. It didn't tap it on that one either. Let's see, we're actually gonna go to another one. Might as well. Just want to show you guys this example real quick. Just like this. Try this one. Okay, we didn't tap it on none of them. Scratch that. But for the most part, guys, when you get really close to big figure levels like this one right here, as we have right here, for the most part, it's going to tap into it. And that's just, it is what it is. This time it didn't, but mind you, you had other confirmations such as the fair value gap being filled along with the record block rejection at the time of day, 8:30. So that tells you a lot, all you needed. So from here, what happened? Price then ran below, targeting multiple days lows from the other days. So we targeted Tuesday's low, right here. Tuesday's low got ran through, and I'm pretty sure that is the lowest of the week so far. So we ran the low of the week, and now we have this new low of the week. So after we ran below the previous day's low, not previous day, but Tuesday's low, we ended up coming all the way down and tapping into what level? Right here, we tapped into 11,800, but if you look, came close to 11,000, but the mid figure that we did tap into is 1150 right here, and 1150 is where we ended up getting the low of the day at what time? 4:45, 14:45, which is 1:45. So let's annotate that right here. So at 1:45 p.m. we got the low of the day at what? 1150 mid figure level. It's not a big figure level, but mind you, if you go to say a lower time frame, just like this, you can see how price respects these levels right here. Let me do that. As you can see how price respected this level right here. And if you even go to a lower time frame, such as the 1 minute, look at how price respected it. Look at it. Look at how price reacts right there. But even though it's not a big figure level, nonetheless, it is a mid figure that is more than likely going to get respected in the future. Just keep that in mind. That's really, for the most part, it. Honestly, there wasn't much that happened today. After we had the news at 8:30, from there, prices kind of fell to the downside. Something you could potentially do right now, you could pull a fib from this high to this low. But even at that, we didn't get a move yet. So even though we might be trading about to trade within that fib currently, doesn't necessarily mean we're going to be getting a move to the downside. But in my opinion, this week has been very bearish, and we're more than likely going to continue bearish. So all I gotta say is just be careful tomorrow for the most part. Don't force any trades. The market hasn't been performing in its best ability, in my opinion. I haven't had the best week. I haven't had the best 2 weeks, but it comes with the game. But here, before anything, let's get this schematic done. So we had the Asian session range, and London session pushed down. We had a small retracement early New York before continuing pushing down. So for the most part, since Asian session accumulation, we just continued to the downside with the higher time frame bias, which is bearish, as you guys can see. Because if we go to daily time frame, get rid of this. Just look at how price is. Look at how price. Damn, bro. Look at how price is. If I get rid of all this, well, everything's bearish. Simply bearish. So something that I could be potentially anticipating for tomorrow is a retracement potentially to this low, which is around 11,330. So if we come back to the lower time frame and look at 11,330. So if I simply go from this high, pull a fib from this high to the current day low, and look for 11,330, somewhere in this area right here. So we'll see what happens around that 38.20%. We'll see what happens for the most part. But with that being said, that's really all I have for you guys today. Today was a pretty simple daily range. Not really much to take advantage of, in my opinion. But here, just to make it a little bit more detailed, we can do things such as this. But arrows where price targeted. So this previous day's lows were price targeted at what time? 3:30. So let's annotate that. At 3:30 a.m. Yes, it is. So at 3:30 a.m., previous day's low, targeted. And that was an early London session. With the early London session, we got that low created, consolidated, pushed up, came down, created another low before having that retracement going into 8:30, where we had the news clearing the liquidity to the left. As you can see, if you zoom in or go to a lower time frame, right when price came up and filled this fair value gap, we also did what? Cleared the short-term high, tapped into this lower time frame, order block right here, filling in the gap, before going lower at the news. But hey, you can learn from all this, guys. Even though it's not much, you can still take the little things that I've shown you just from this small video right here and still learn from it. So that being said, I'm going to screenshot this. I'm going to send it in the Telegram for those of you that want to get it. And that's really it. So if you enjoyed this video, if you found it helpful in any way, shape, or form, make sure you smash that like button. Something like that. If you haven't already, like, comment, subscribe. And that's really it. I'm going to see you guys tomorrow if I take a trade. I don't think I'm going to trade. I already got clapped this week, so take my Friday off. That being said, appreciate everyone for being here. Appreciate everyone for watching the video. Until next time, stay safe, stay productive, and I'll see you soon.